Good afternoon, parents and students of Hacienda La Puente Unified School District. I hope you're having a great college week. I am so sorry we are not able to meet in person, but I hope you've been able to get a lot of your questions answered in regards to colleges. My name is Matt Reinhardt. I work at the University of La Verne. I'm here tonight to speak to you in regards to the common application in regards to private schools. So I'm going to walk you through what the common application looks like. It's a pretty fast process, so it shouldn't take too long. And I look forward to helping you with that. So give me one moment. I'm going to pull up a screen here. We're going to talk about the common application. So hopefully you can see this okay. Not too many slides. So what is the common application? That's kind of a good question to start with. So the common application, like the UC application, the Cal State application, the common application is designated for private schools. It could be private schools within California, or it can be private schools within the entire United States. But it's the main purpose of the common application is to really just kind of have like a one-stop application process that you could fill out and that you could use the same application over and over again with private schools. As you can see, there's a lot of colleges that use the common application throughout the United States. Some really just within California, within our own backyard, just of schools that are known as common application schools as well. So if you are looking at private schools, they're going to be part of the schools that you apply to. Common application will be a application that you can utilize for those schools. So in terms of the application, like anything else, you create an account. So it will ask for like a username, a password, like everything else. If you forget your password, there's a forgot password option. It goes without saying, but just try and keep your passwords consistent with other passwords that you may have, so you don't forget it from time to time. The common application will actually just be designated for high school seniors. So if you're a freshman, a sophomore, or a junior currently in high school, it's not something that you need to worry about right now. For seniors, though, this can definitely be an option on that. Kind of like what I was saying earlier in terms of like the password and so forth, a consistent email address. If it's an email address that you don't use a lot, you just forget to check from time to time, maybe that's not one you do want to use. But if it's like a personal email that you check constantly and so forth, then feel free to do that. I've had some students kind of create their own email address as far as like just for applying to schools. So whatever kind of works best for you in that format. You can see kind of on the right-hand side here, your options. So for students within Hacienda La Puente Unified School District, most of you, if not all of you, will be using that first year student option, which is that first blue tab that you'll see. Okay, so what is on the common application? The first thing is something called a dashboard. So as you can see, we signed in here and all that, this dashboard comes up. The dashboard really just kind of helps keep track and maintain and remind you of all the schools that you have applied to. So if you begin an application, you complete an application, your dashboard will store all of that information and let you know how that's going or just the status of your applications. You get to, with the common application, you get to use 10 schools that you can apply it to. So if you have 10 schools that you're considering, which is obviously a pretty big amount, but if you have 10 schools that you're looking at, private schools, you can use up to 10 schools on that. And you can change them from time to time as well. Maybe a particular school that you were looking at, maybe it's a school that you're no longer considering. Things like that, you can remove that school, add another one, and so forth. So you'll have a few different options on that. So that's the dashboard option. This is the college search tab. I like this tab here on the common application. It's one that is very user friendly. So as you can see from our example here with the college search, you can use really any type of filters that you want. So you can go in, you can type the name of the school that you're applying to. It will auto-populate, it will pre-populate. That school will come up and it will give you some really some helpful information that we'll look at on the next screen. But another thing that I really like about this college search tab, it gives you some options. So maybe you're looking at schools out of state. You want to look at a particular school within a particular state. You can go in, you can filter that, and then that will show up. Maybe you are looking for schools that have a free application fee. You know, as you know, those application fees and applying for schools can get costly. So maybe you're looking at a school that will accept an application fee waiver. If you put that into the filter, a list of schools that will come up. So there's a lot of different functions that the college search tab will have that will, I think, be really user friendly for you as far as that goes. We're still on that the My Colleges tab. Any information that comes up about that school will kind of show up in the My Colleges tab. So this is a really nice screen as well. The thing I really like about it is it gives you application deadlines. So if you're applying to maybe 5 or 6 colleges, and one of them maybe has a application date that's sooner than another school that you're considering, obviously keep track of that, and maybe you want to apply to that school first because their application deadline is coming up earlier. It's something you want to meet the application deadline for. Maybe you're looking at schools, so that's like around rolling admissions. You see the example with the University of Laverne where I work. Okay, we're a school that's on rolling admission, so there's really not like a set application deadline. So that's something really helpful. Maybe you just want to reach out to the school that you're considering applying to or that you have applied to. Maybe you have a question about, hey, have you received my transcript yet? Have you received my letter of recommendation? Is my application complete? It will provide both an email as well as a general phone number for the admissions office for you to reach out to as well. And then it will also, depending on the schools, it will have some useful links, the website of the school, a virtual tour. Maybe you're not able to visit the school due to a variety of reasons, but maybe it's a school that's too far out of the area or isn't allowing visitors at this time. You'll have some different options on this My Colleges tab to kind of look at that. So this is something that I think is going to be really helpful and easy to navigate for you as far as that goes. Okay, so this is one, it's called the Common App tab. So we've looked at Dashboard, My Colleges, College Search so far. Common App tab, I think it's safe to say this is probably one where you're going to spend most of your time in as far as filling out an application and so forth. The nice thing about this though is once you create a profile, you won't have to create a profile again because all of this information will be saved with the Common App. So, okay, personal information. Okay, it's going to ask for your personal information, you know, your name and so forth. That second bullet point is a really important point, and that says to always use your correct full legal name. So I would definitely, I want to emphasize on this. When you are applying to schools, make sure you use your full legal name that actually matches with your transcript, okay? So if you apply with like a nickname or an abbreviated name, sometimes colleges have problems matching those documents together. So you always want to use the correct full legal name that matches your high school transcript, so colleges can match up your documents really easy and make it a seamless application process for you. Include your social security number if you have one. I know there's FERPA, there's privacy reasons with that, but it really is, if it is asked, it's helpful information to include in your application. Some other things, they ask for your parents' living arrangements, education information. This tab will be a little bit time extensive. It will ask a lot of questions. Two of the check marks on there, one of them was family, another one is activities. They allow you to, maybe you're a person that's really involved with school, it will actually allow you to put 10 activities into your common application. So you can list 10 activities that you're involved in. And I think it's a 250 word. You do it in 250 words or less. So again, this will probably be a pretty extensive one. This is where most of your time will be in the application, but the good news is once you do it once, it will save all of this information. So, okay, we're still on the Common App tab. Some other things they are going to ask you, as you can see from the screenshot here, is the high school. So just type in the name of your high school. So if it's obviously one of the schools within Hacienda La Puente Unified, those schools will auto-populate, and there shouldn't be a problem with that. If you've attended more than one school, maybe you moved to the district, you attended a new school sometime during your high school years, make sure you include that as well. I know sometimes the high school will actually have that information and put that on the transcript, which would suffice as well. Graduation date, just clarify with your high school registrar's office, your high school counselor. All of that information should be readily available as far as like the graduation date, the class size, so how big is the entire senior class, as well as your GPA. So you can actually use the GPA that's showing up on that transcript, and you can include that on there. This last one, the testing section. So a lot of schools are waiving test requirements. So either the SAT, the ACT, any type of standardized testing, a lot of schools are moving away from that. So if you do not plan on taking an SAT or an ACT this year, you can put like NA, not available, or just leave that section blank. If you do plan on taking an SAT or an ACT, either you have taken one or you're taking one a few months from when you submit the application, try and be as specific as possible as to answering that question. But again, if you leave it blank or you put not available, that should be perfectly fine as well. Okay, I think we actually went back to the activities section on that one. I apologize. But yeah, again, if you are a really involved student, like definitely use that time, take that time to include that into your application as far as that goes. Oh, okay, so here we go. Sorry about that, I got a little mixed up on the PowerPoint there. So these are some examples that they include as far as the activities go. I always tell students too, with activities, even if it's not school related, include that on there, okay? Maybe you're a caretaker for your brother, your sister, a grandparent, something like that. That still shows leadership capability. So include those. Maybe you work, obviously outside of school. Maybe you're getting 10, 15 hours a week somewhere. Definitely include those. Those are different types of activities and leadership activities that I think are important in the application process as far as that goes. So once you've kind of filled out all of those tabs, we're not going to talk too much about the financial aid resources one because it mostly applies to financial aid information. But once you have all of these 4 tabs kind of completed, there is a review and submit your application. So if you do not see anything under this application submission and you don't see any of these little bullet points, That usually means that your application is complete and you have fulfilled those requirements to apply. If you do see some of these, all it's basically saying is like, hey, go back into this part into your application and fill it out a little bit more, or complete the requirement, attach your personal statement or your essay. So it will kind of guide you it will guide you as to like the status of your application, whether it's completed or not, or whether you still have to do something to complete it. But again, I think it's a pretty fast process. I think the common application, once you do kind of the first one, it should be a pretty fast process. I think even doing the first one should only take anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes to complete. Questions. So I know there's going to be a lot of questions, and I just want to, at this time, I don't know if you can see it with the background, but this is my contact information. If you have any questions on the common application, doesn't have to be Laverne related, just questions that you have about it, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help you. My number at the university is area code 909-448-4055. And my email, if you can't see that okay, is mreinhart, MRINEHART at Laverne, LAVERNE.edu. So thank you so much. Again, I'm so sorry we're not able to meet in person this year. Hacienda La Puente School District College Fair is one of my favorite fairs to attend. I really enjoy it, and I'm sorry I'm not able to meet a lot of you in person for that. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions, though. I hope you guys have a great college search year. I hope you have a great senior year, and here's hoping you get into all of the schools that you applied for. Okay, take care.